Greetings and salutations, fellow gamers. Lukey P here with another episode of Let's Play Supreme Ruler Ultimate with Brazil. And for those of you following this series, you may notice that the date has changed a fair bit since the end of last episode. So we left Brazil at the end of September 1940. I have played on a bunch of months and done a bunch off camera because it's been kind of slow going, so I will just recap on what I've done and a bit on some developments elsewhere in the world. So we are richer than we were before. Our trading strategy is still going brilliantly well. Every so often we are able to trade for large sums. So for example, there you can see Venezuela has bought roughly 100 million of consumer goods for roughly double. China has paid a 90% markup on consumer goods. Lots of people are still happy to trade with us. Russia has paid double, so 105ish million, and they paid 208 million for it. So yeah, it's going pretty well. We have, as well as having increased our money, we have a pretty large stockpile of industrial goods, which has been largely sourced from Italy and a little bit from Germany. We have been building up our supply across Brazil, so you'll see now that there's a kind of path which leads to the north of the country. We may well build a road across there to carry that supply through that slight dead zone. This area is still pretty kind of dead and sparse. We are trying to build another kind of hub up here with an air base and 2 supply depots. We've run into a little bit of trouble. Just to demonstrate the problems of absence of supply, I sent my mechanized engineers off from that hub to go down to there. They run out of supplies about there and have probably spent the best part of a month getting to there. We have sent in some supply trucks we built to try and rescue them, but it's still pretty slow going. We've also built some military production facilities, so we've now got 5 land production. We've got 2 up there to produce some of the slower moving units for the kind of invasions we'll probably look to do in the north of the country. We've got that's the research. Where did I put the ones down here? Somewhere down here we've got some land production facilities. I forget where I've put them. There we are. Yeah, three land production there. We've built we already had 1 aircraft production, but we are in the process of building another 3 up here, which are nearly finished. And then we're also building 2 naval production down here by our capital, and we've chosen that one because there is a seaport already there, so we don't have to build a seaport, which is what you need for naval production. It's already there. So yeah, in due course we will have 5 of these going, 3 or 4 of those at once probably, and probably a couple of submarines being churned out to go and sit off the coast of some of our enemies and sink any units. So that's what's been going on with Brazil. So it's been pretty good. Interesting developments in Europe. So so what has happened since last time? Well, Belgium doesn't exist anymore. Germany declared war on Belgium, and it did not last long, really. That's about all I can say about it. It didn't last long. Vichy France formed, so now there's Vichy France and a bunch of old France's colonies now in effect reporting to Vichy France. And somewhat distressingly for me, as a Brit and as a resident of London in the UK, Germany have crossed the English Channel, which I've not seen on games before. They landed here initially in Portsmouth, and I think they're pretty much about to take the capital. They've taken... I mean, London's such a huge city, it basically has two. It has the real capital and then another part of London, which is also the capital. You can see the population difference. That's got 1 million having been taken, and that's got 3.3 million. The capital may well be about to fall, I think. There's been a back and forth invasion, was a lot of back and forth around the coast. Now, I think we may be seeing the fall of the United Kingdom, which has left me surprisingly annoyed at the game, to be honest. Not the most rational response. It's only stop selling oil to Germany for now in an attempt to see if that makes a difference in stalling their advance, if they run out of oil. Basically soon, I fear, the United Kingdom will fall, and with it pretty much all opposition to Germany in Western Europe. I can't see anyone else resisting them. It also mess up a bit how we potentially, because the UK is often our main trading partner. Historically, it's always been when I've done. I say historically, I've done one previously up to about 1945 or so, and the UK was always often an excellent trading partner. And Germany will be less, particularly once, assuming the pre-trigger war with Moscow goes ahead and it overextends itself cripplingly if it does win, because it will end up trying to maintain and defend all of this land. But we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. It's going to be an interesting time, I think. Okay. So what we're going to do, I think, is we're just going to crack on with playing and see how things develop. Yeah, I think that's probably all we want to do this episode. There's nothing that dramatic we will be doing, so let's crack on. And we'll probably see a bit more about trading and how we make money. I'll probably be distressed during the episode if London falls, but hey ho, it's only a game. Right, let's whack the speed up a bit. I would really like these engines. Let's just see how much these engineers are moving. So they've got supply trucks on top of them. The supply trucks appear to have no supplies themselves, which is slightly problematic. I almost wonder if it's just worth plonking down a supply depot there. You know what, looking at that, it extends to roughly there. So if I build something there, it would extend to... Yeah, I think we might have to build it there because they just aren't going anywhere fast, are they? Okay, let's build a military... So we can't build here because there's actually zero supply there at all. At least that's got a tiny amount of supply, so it would seem. And a couple of supply depots. Oakley dokley. kind of want to watch the war. Oh. United Kingdom moved the capital city to Hai Pong. Since Germany captured their form, they've basically abandoned the British Isles. Wow. That's distressing for me anyway. Well, you know, these things happen. So where is... So the British capital is now in... well, it's now basically in Asia. I mean, there's no... Germany aren't going to get them there. It's literally there's going to be some... It's a bit an interesting game. I've not really seen the UK fall in World War II before. I wonder at what point America might turn up. I do wonder if the entire United Kingdom will fall. Why has that automatically been done? Oh, I see. Am I running out of military goods then? Is that why they offered it to me? Oh, it is. We've run out of military goods. Okay, let's see who we might be able to buy some military goods from. I don't really want to trade with Germany, but let's see if they've got some. Just taking some off them might help the UK. No, they want roughly double. What about... Ah, good old Italy. Always got more goods than they need, so it seems. Yeah, so they're still that at cost, which given we've got loads of money, we're fine with. Let's do that. Vichy France want the culture, okay. They want an extra 2 million, okay. And then let's go around and we will sell some of our consumer goods just to make it back. %98 profit margin. Lovely. Let's go to China. Oh, selling the wrong thing. So for me at the moment, with inflation and everything, around about 14,000 is kind of the sweet spot, because it's about 100 million. I've noticed you seem to get better prices with lower quantities and lower regular quantities, which is why I'm selling them in lower volumes. And then let's see, another 15,000 here. Okay, 190. So that's about 45,000 of our consumer goods. I do wonder if Italy needs anything. We'll need some petrol. Yeah, that's not too bad as a profit margin. The reason I like selling Italy petrol is their petrol in effect helps do their industrial goods and their military goods, both of which they sell to me cheap. So I like them having a supply of petrol because it keeps their economy ticking over. Let's just see if they want to sell their industrial goods at below cost. They do. This is the advantage of having really good trading relations with somebody, so they're friendly, they pay us well for our petrol, and they're happy to sell us something it costs them 828 million to make for 572 million. Lovely. So that's going to put our money right down, but that. Yeah, the UK is not doing well at all, really. Sweden sometimes want oil, don't they? Let's offer them like 50 million, see what they offer us for it. Not a lot. Okay, we're not going to trade with you. China. China normally want oil. That's a pretty good price, we'll take that. Does Lee reject our petrol offer? Let's see them accept it. Maybe they just haven't accepted it yet. Oh, there they go, accepting it. How's our stock looking? Plenty of petrol. May want to bulk buy a little bit more coal. Production there is going on. They've basically decided to head back to the nearest barracks to migrate, so to speak, which is okay with me actually. They were only out there to try and supply these units, which don't need supply because they've finished driving to where they were driving now. Our economy last day. Oh, that's because I've decided to buy ridiculous amounts of coal. But you can see now our consumer goods exports are nearly roughly the same as our agriculture good exports, which is why we switched to focusing on consumer goods. Some explosions are going on. Not quite sure what that is. That might be oil derricks. That might be the Royal Navy. Not doing that well. Ethiopia, yes, they've done this a few times actually. So our earlier kind of giving of them goods at below cost, they're now coming back and offering to pay over 100% margin on oil at various times. So that's pretty nice. The moral dilemma. They want to give us 50% margin on oil. How short are they of it? 51 million barrels. I don't think it's going to make a great big difference to their economy. But on principle at the moment I'm going to turn it down because I don't like Germany conquering the UK. Turkey, no, we're not selling you our prized consumer goods at below cost, thank you very much. You haven't got much money, that's why you can't really afford much. We will sell you. This is just something I do. I think I've said in past episodes, I've no idea if it makes much difference. There's about 50% margin, so that's fine. Just sell them a little token amount to say, hey, we're happy to trade with you. You've just got to, you've just got to try and buy the goods at something which is approaching a sensible price. Same with Argentina and Colombia as well, actually, because they sometimes buy our consumer goods. Okay, so things are ticking along. We're losing, I mean, you can see the scale of the money we're losing at the moment, and that is because we are spending a whole bunch stocking up on coal again, which is fine because we should be good for a while now. And we are spending a fair amount on research as well, I think. 25 million a day now. It's probably worth briefly talking about the research we've done since last episode. So we have continued to research various warfare techs Improved main guns, I think, is one we've done since last time. We're in the process of researching light machine guns, which put our ground values up by plus 10%. We're doing large gun designs. We're researching some aircraft piston engines. We're doing synthetic rubber. The reason we're doing that is I want to get, or that's kind of handy. It's just free 3% on culture. I also want to get commercial plastics, because that allows, that's not what I thought it allowed. There's some reason I want to get commercial plastics, and I'm trying to, that's it. With the commercial diesel engine I can get early automatic suspensions, which is kind of the route to this, although it's a fair long way away. And there's also, with commercial diesel engines, I can get tank design improvements as well, which is pretty nice, I think, when we're thinking about going to war soon. So yeah, I'm actually increasingly worried the UK is going to fall in total with its rather good designs. So let me see what designs we may want to buy. We haven't got lightweight piston engines, that's the problem. I'm not sure that's notably better than anything we've got. That's not notably better than motorised. The mounted infantry. Maybe there isn't much we want from them then. We'll buy that. We could always sunset these if we don't use them for whatever reason. Yeah, we've bought a sub off them already. Capital ships. So these are great, but they take ages to build and they can't sink submarines, which is always one of the bugbears I have with capital ships. We may want that. Oh, we need industrialised military vessels. We've got to pay a fortune for that. No. That's kind of alright. What's the difference between the flower class and that? So that's got 88. 88 and 50, but I need industrialised military vessels. I really don't see what the difference is between those two. No, can't for the life of me see what the difference is. Okay, well we're in transport, we might get let's just get one of those in case we ever decide we do need some transport ships. That's not going to set us back much at all. 6 million. It's just in case the UK does fall and packs its designs with it. Germany's offering us a pittance for consumer goods. No thank you. Sweden have come in and decided to offer us a very, very good profit margin on oil. Actually, it's not quite double, but it's close, so we'll accept that. This is yeah, everything is ticking along. It's all quite well, but nothing particularly dramatic. is taking place, which is why we've been doing a lot of this game off camera right now. Construction complete our latest military complex, that will be up in the north. Military goods shortage, I thought we bought did we not buy a large stock of them? Did I thought Italy sold us a bunch, unless we've used them all already. Where did they? I know we saw that, and then we went and bought. Oh, let's go back to Italy again. Maybe that trade didn't go through for some reason. I thought it did. I must have made a mistake. Which I will. No, available. I must have either been looking at the wrong screen, or it was doing one of those strange things where it doesn't quite refresh the screen properly. So we've got nearly 200,000 military goods, and we're using 500 to go. So yeah, I think we're all right on that, really. No need to be buying any more of those. So Italy has invaded Ethiopia. It's taken some land. The East Indies want consumer goods. That's fine. There's lots of these beeps going on. So Germany's declared war on Sweden. Germany's declared war on the USSR, as has Vichy, France, Romania and Hungary. So Germany's now fighting, I would say it's fighting a war on two fronts. It's only fighting a war on two fronts because it's now in Scotland. Moscow has now switched to the Allies, and it will be interesting to see how the USSR does, because often Romania actually decimates part of the Russian forces, so we will see. We will see. Let's see about selling some more oil off. So let's offer 5 million to you. The poor United Kingdom. I sense one of our objectives of this game may be to yeah, I mean they can still afford a lot. I'm wondering what their supply of, yeah, they've still got a great supply of lots of stuff, really. I don't think they really need to be worried about petrol, but okay. Consumer goods. Let's see if we can get away with selling you double what we normally do. So we get 92% on that. So if we sold them 200 million, let's see if we still get 92% margin. Yeah, pretty much. Excellent. Well, let's do that. Let's see the same with China. So if we sell them 100 million roughly of consumer goods, they will offer us 188. So in theory they should offer us what, 376 if we offer them 200 million-ish. I think it's about 376. It's a tad late here in the UK. Maths is not my strong suit late at night. Yeah, that's a good price. Let's take that, and then let's see what we've got left over once those trades are done. United Kingdom rejected our offer. Germany still wants to buy our consumer goods for not very much. Rejected. we may do a little bit of trade with them, which I'm loath to do. They've got 8 billion. Let's see if I offered them the equivalent of 100 million. Only 40%. No, I don't want that. I'm getting like 90% elsewhere in the world, thank you. That's just propping our money up a little bit, so yeah, I was conscious our money had been dropping throughout this episode, partly because we've been doing some purchasing, which is absolutely fine. You know, military goods, industrial goods from Italy, coal from the stock market. £82 million we are spending per go now. 70 million of that is on construction, and that is because of that there, which is nearly finished. It is finished. So let's just watch that drop down as we tick on a day. £27 million. Nice. Back to something of a balanced economy a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start building some units, and the reason I'm going to start doing that is just because they take a long time to build, submarines. So if we want kind of, let's say, a fleet of 8 subs, it's going to take like 300 days to get that done, even with 2 production things. So let's go for 6. I think that would be enough. I don't think anyone else has got much of a navy around us, so that will be plenty at this tech level. Research breakthrough. Improved aircraft alloys. So that's opened up some more things to us, I think. Industrialised military vessels. That would have helped us get some of our designs from the UK. Early turbojet theories, science, technology. I think we want to go for industrialised military vessels. Aircraft tech's kind of good. AA guns is kind of good. Let's do military vessels for now. See what that does to our cost of research per day. 25 million at the moment, 21 million. So whatever we were researching before was more cost intensive as well. And we've finished our aircraft production as well. It's like a 25% margin. We're going to accept that just because we sell to China and the USSR, but actually some of the others, you know, the profit margins you have to scout around a bit, so it's alright to sell them on the market. Let's just go. Greetings once again, Lukey P here. We had a bit of a glitch with the recording software which kind of cut off the end of the last episode, so that's why there's been a little bit of a time jump. What have you missed? Not a lot. I wouldn't have done off camera, to be honest. You know, European war still in full swing. Romania is starting to take chunks of Moscow, of Russia. Germany's also pushing into Russia as well. The UK mainland's basically gone. Yeah, that's rubbish. And Brazil, we're doing just dandy. So now our construction costs have dropped back. Our economy is roughly balanced each day. The early game investment in building up these consumer goods has paid off, and yeah, I think the main thing I commented on in the bit of the episode which didn't get recorded was the price we'd paid for our expansion, which is, you know, building these various supply hubs, so to speak, where I have an air base and a couple of supply depot. Each one of those is about $1 billion worth of investment. And then we've built our naval facilities, which I think are 700 million or so a pop. We built 2 of them. We've built land production. We've built aircraft production. So we've really sunk money into our economy, and that has really driven up uninflation and driven down unemployment. So we're down at 2.1% unemployment, and we're up at 23% inflation. So at that point there, you know, we can try and grow our economy a bit more, you know, by building more consumer plants to generate more money and use that money to fund more research plants. But really, I think I'm at the point now where my strategy is I want to invade people to get more population, to build a bigger economy, which can support more research plants, which will help me get a better military, which will help me conquer more people, which will help me get a bigger economy, which will help me get more research plants. And you get the picture. It's a virtuous circle, so to speak. So what we'll probably be doing off camera between episodes is starting to build up our military, and then next episode I'll probably come back and talk a bit about what I've done, what military we've built, and talk about getting ready to invade some people soon. So thank you for watching. Apologies for the glitch with the video, but I think that recap there has kind of covered off a lot of what happened. If you've got any comments, if you've got a comment on at what point you think it's good to start trying to conquer people. I'm only 5 years into the game here, I think. I mean, that seems like, I know a lot of people, start as China and go on a massive conquest spree on day one. We've kind of built up slow and steady and got ourselves ready, and probably we'll be looking to try and take a lot of the Americas, particularly the high population ones. Argentina's looking a good target. Venezuela's okay. Colombia looks pretty good, but a lot of these are on really good terms with us, so we need some people really to get annoyed at us. Paraguay only got, it's already cold related. We may want to start investing in ticking them off via diplomacy, so that we can conquer them. It's only 1 million people, but it'd be a good little dry run for our small army at the start, maybe. So we'll wrap it there. Thank you for watching, and I will see you again soon.